Grand Rising. I'm going to get into this book right now, Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx, right? By Augustus Le Plongeon, right? And that's 1896 from this book right here. And we're going to talk about something that we've started it with the Bible as far as talking about where do you guys get your authority? Because you guys don't have any authority. I refuse to accept your authority over my history. I refuse to accept your authority over my Bible, over our religious practices. You guys have been confederate with hiding everything. Check this out. It says right here, it may be inquired, on what ground can those who have published books on this subject in Europe or in the United States establish their claim to be regarded as authorities? And that's what I've been saying with prove to me where it says the Most High says we can only read 66 books. We can only read 80 books. That the book of Enoch is bad. That the book of Jasher is wrong. Under what pretenses do you guys think that you have that kind of authority? The Most High has left us all this information worldwide. And we have all these people who have been fighting against other books without giving specific claims as to how you have authority. Now it says, what do they know of the ancient Mayas, or their customs and manners, of their scientific or artistic attainments? Do they understand the Maya language? Can they interpret one single sentence of the books in which the learning of the Maya sages, their cosmogonic, geographical, religious, and scientific attainments are recorded? See, people are like, and this is, they talk about magic and these things like that. I mean, this is the biggest trance ever, that you won't read, you won't study, you won't do anything to actually get knowledge for yourself. This is where the Most High is. This is the Bible. It says like the Most High hides a thing, and it's up to the kings to search the matter out. That's not just talking about religious texts. That's talking about math. That's talking about science. It's talking about history. These people have infiltrated every aspect of our lives and told us that they have the understanding. How could they have the understanding what the Mayas had when they were never over here until after 1492? How can they be the authority to tell us anything about the Bible when the covenant was made with Abraham thousands of years before there's any sign of these people around? They're trying to talk about end times events when they had nothing to do with the prophets who were getting downloads from the Most High. And people are still in 2024 are giving these people props. They're still listening to anything that they have to say. And it makes absolutely no sense. So let's continue. From what source have they derived their pretended knowledge? Yeah, and that's what it is. You guys have pretended knowledge. When you try to break down the Bible, that's pretended knowledge. That's why you don't get into other scriptures. You don't make the other scriptures, connect with history. You don't do any of those kinds of things. You just make assumptions about things. You say that we're doing things that you've been doing the whole time without defending anything that you talk about. So it says, not from the writings of, from what source have they derived their pretended knowledge? Not from the writings of the Spanish chroniclers, surely. These only wrote of the natives as they found them at the time of and long after the conquest of the Americas by their countrymen. So this is like way after the fact, okay? Whose fanatical priests destroyed by fire the only sources of information, the books and ancient records of the Maya, philosophers and historians. Now see, these people destroyed all this by the fire. So how can you trust a people that as soon as they got here, they would just start burning stuff from jump? Because see, just like they would love to be able to burn all the information out that we're bringing out, okay? Because they can't refute it. They couldn't refute that information. They couldn't refute the information of my forefathers before. So therefore, and also my foremothers, who I'm sure wrote and put down information as well, they could not refute it. So they hide it, just like they do today. They cannot refute this information. So they hide numbers, they hide views, they hide the channel. They can't burn it like they used to, but now they try to bury it another way, okay? So right there again, whose fanatical priests destroyed by fire the only sources of information, the books and ancient records of the Maya, philosophers and historians. Lopez de Cogolludo, in his Historia de Yucatan, frankly admits that in his time, no information could be obtained concerning the ancient history of the Mayas. He says, of the peoples who first settled in this kingdom of Yucatan, or their ancient history, I have been unable to obtain any other data that than those which follow. The Spanish chroniclers, who do not give one reliable word about the manners and customs of the builders of the grand antique edifices, okay, that were objects of admiration to them as they are to modern travelers. The only answer of the natives to the inquiries of the Spaniards as to who the builders were invariably was, "We do not know." But we're supposed to believe that these people are so godly and that they can lead you to heaven, that they don't have some kind of an agenda. They had an agenda as soon as they stepped on our grounds. Their agenda was to hide us, to hide our lands, to discredit us, to displace us in order for them to ascend to our roles. And now that time is over with. The time of them being in charge of our information is over with. And so all they're doing is giving you bigger events every single day. But now that time is over. Shalom.